This is the third in the Principles of CRM series of screenplays. It explains why it is often difficult for businesses to find the messages clients and prospects send them, know what other messages they have sent that could be relevant, and discovering what they really meant when they sent them. When this happens, businesses cannot listen to and understand what they are saying. In this screenplay, you will find out how CRM systems can help and why this adds resilience and value to your business by getting more of the messages you need to close sales and retain business, building better rapport with your clients and prospects that leads to trust and connection, and finding out how you can build unbeatable business propositions. You can build these by knowing how to give your clients and prospects exactly what they want every time. That is the fourth principle of CRM and is covered in the next screenplay in this series. There are three problems businesses have in trying to work out what clients or prospects are trying to say when they send messages. The first problem is getting these messages at all due to the volume of them received every day. The second is that clients or prospects say what they want to say to different people in the business at different times using different channels. That means each of these messages only carries part of what the client or prospect wants to say, and you need all of them to truly make sense of any one. The third problem is that even if you know about and have access to all these messages, the business may make them fit the story they want to tell rather than the one the client wants to talk about. I am now going to look at each of these before explaining how CRM systems can help businesses resolve them. The first problem people dealing with clients and prospects have is that they can't respond to all the messages they get and need some way of prioritizing so that they can listen to and understand those that are most critical for the business. Google says, for example, that the average business person receives 121 emails every day. If they took just 5 minutes to answer every one, it would take them 10 hours. That's without phone calls and time out attending meetings, social media messages and more. But to accurately prioritize the messages they receive means knowing something about the clients or prospects who sent them, their individual journey and their potential value for the business. Without that, people dealing with these messages may spend so much time clearing less essential ones that they don't hear those that are critical to winning a sale or retaining a key client until too late. The second problem people dealing with these messages have is that they may only carry part of the intended meaning and don't tell the whole story. That may be because the client or prospect isn't getting the response they need, so send separate messages across multiple channels, for example email, web chat, phones, social media and more, or because no one message and channel can carry all the information they need to send. Where that is the case, the message may be part of a whole conversation, which often involves other people in other departments over a period of time. That means unless the person dealing with these messages is across all these multiple channels and can easily find the other messages that form part of the conversation, assuming they know about them, they can't effectively respond to the one they are trying to deal with. The problem is that they haven't got time to either manage all these channels or find these previous messages, which are often locked up in different systems used by each department the client or prospect has touched and can't easily be accessed. Even when all the messages in a client or prospect conversation are available, it is easy for businesses to misinterpret what was in the mind of the people who sent them. That's because they use the processes they have designed to achieve specific departmental objectives to make sense of what they think the messages in these conversations might mean. But these processes don't necessarily reflect where the client or prospect is in their own journey. This mismatch between what is being said and the way that it is interpreted by the business leads to the business and client or prospect literally talking at cross purposes. It can also mean that messages are missed because the business doesn't recognize their relevance for the conversation they are trying to make sense of. A common example of how both these factors can get in the way of listening and understanding is in the way salespeople use the messages they get to indicate what they hope indicates the potential of a sales closing, using the sales process favored by the business. Because this is unlikely to reflect the prospect's buying cycle, sales forecasts are rarely, if ever, accurate, sales funnels are unreliable, and sales the business is confident will close are lost. So how does a CRM system ensure that the important and critical messages clients and prospects send will get through, the people receiving them will have all the information they need to respond, and that this response is based on the information the client or prospect intended to send rather than what the business believes their intentions should be. How does it, in other words, enable the business and its people to truly listen to and understand what clients and prospects are actually saying through the messages they send? We will look at each of these in turn before considering why this means CRM systems can add value and resilience to a business. Firstly, a CRM system makes it easier to filter all the messages their users receive from clients and prospects so that they can find and prioritize those that require an immediate response. That's because every message is attached to a record of what is known about the client or prospect who sent it, including their potential value to the business, where they are on their own individual journey, and the risks of their defection. This background information can then be used to organize the messages people receive and summarize all those that require an immediate response, or help them to anticipate those that the client or prospect may send. CRM systems can also be configured to alert the user that these messages have been received, for example by enabling them to follow focus clients and sales potentials. The CRM system can also be configured to suck all these messages into a single client or prospect record from any of the channels that they may choose to use. It does this through using APIs that enable it to synchronize with email, VoIP phones, social media, web chat, and a lot more. Other channels can often be added through third-party connections made by software houses like Zapier or native tools like Zoho Flow from the Zoho One platform. And if the CRM system is deployed across all the departments who touch the client or prospect through their journey, the whole history of their communication can be presented in a single place, the client or prospect record, irrespective of who these previous messages were sent to, when and for what purpose. That means the person responding can quickly and easily access the whole conversation, along with all supporting information including attached documents and notes, as well as records of actions taken, meetings held and phone calls made. Lastly, CRM systems can be configured to have the flexibility that ensures client and prospect messages are responded to in a way that is relevant for their individual journey, while maintaining operational effectiveness for the business. To achieve this, the business analyzes data in the CRM to map out what previous journeys looked like, what messages identified where clients or prospects were on these journeys, and the responses that proved most successful. This leads to developing a range of short repeatable processes linked by trigger points based on the actions and messages of the clients or prospects that indicate which of these building blocks will deliver the most relevant and successful response. This flexible but controllable and manageable approach does take some investment in time and effort to achieve, but once it is understood can be embedded in the CRM and even automated. It is, for example, quite common in automated marketing platforms where client journey mapping and autoresponders link client messages with the most relevant response for their individual paths. It is also used when sales teams move from a focus on sales process to using prospects' messages and actions as evidence of where the client or prospect is in their buying cycle. We have now seen how a CRM system can make sure that businesses get important messages, see these messages in the context of a complete conversation, and respond in a way that makes sense for the clients and prospects sending them. In this last section, I'm going to explain how this will lead to winning more sales and retaining more business, building a rapport with your clients and prospects that lead to trust and connection, and listening to as well as understanding what your clients and prospects are saying so that you can build unbeatable business propositions. While businesses will always want to respond to every message they get, this may not be possible. The truth is that in business, not all clients and prospects are equally important all the time. Some are always more important through the value of the relationship or potential relationship they have with the business, while others become so due to the stage they have reached in their journey. By empowering the business to know this about the people who sent the messages, CRM systems help them to prioritize and focus their resources to make sure they respond to those messages that close more business or retain more clients. CRM systems also help the person responding to these messages to build rapport with these focus clients and prospects by continuing a conversation that they may have had with other people at other times through more than one channel of communication. This professional approach demonstrates to these clients or prospects the business is focused on them because it has heard what they said and take this into account in the way that they are responded to and dealt with. That builds trust and connection, which are important in developing the value of relationships and their resilience over time. Finally, CRM systems ensure that the business is on the same page as the client or prospect because it empowers them to influence the way that they are listened to and understood. That means that their messages are responded to in a way which is relevant, timely, and appropriate for their individual journey. That ensures that the business will deliver exactly what they want when they want it. If the business knows more about this than the competition, they have the tools to create unbeatable business propositions that can't easily be copied, protecting margins, increasing sales value, and ensuring loyalty. These are the subjects of the next screenplay, how to give clients and prospects exactly what they want every time. This was the third of 4 screenplays in the CRM Principles series. The first showed why businesses find it difficult to know who their clients are. The second explained how to use this knowledge to recognize their individual journeys. And in this one, you saw how businesses can use CRM to listen to and understand what their clients are saying. In the fourth and final screenplay, we will explore how to use this understanding to build unbeatable business propositions by giving clients exactly what they want every time. These screenplays are part of the Introducing CRM e-learning course. This comes with your own toolkit that helps you to use CRM in your battle to deliver more valuable client relationship. It also explains how to create the exceptional value and resilience in your business that always puts you one step ahead. This is a free course that you can sign up for today by sending me your details at this email address.